Hello there, everyone. Hello, me. And hello to my dog, who is over there for reasons. Today is the fourth episode of this series I've been doing that I have coined Rankings Revamped, I guess. I don't know, I haven't really coined anything. I'd assume there's some sort of legal process for that. Regardless, this is the fourth video I've been doing where basically for those of you who aren't caught up, I made a list of all the devil fruits in this anime called One Piece. You might have heard of it. And I did an Instagram series where basically I just went through the list and described all the fruits, what they do, weaknesses. I ranked them in four categories on a scale of 1 to 10, combined those into a scale from 4 to 40, or less than 4 to 40, I don't know. Regardless of how I ranked them, uh, today is the fourth video that I am doing that thing. And if it sounds a bit like I'm not very good at talking, that's because I'm not very good at talking. And if you're worried about that bottle I just drank out of, it's a root beer bottle that I've just been reusing to drink water. I've had it for like 3 years. Anyway, none of you care about my root beer bottle collection. Let's go into the devil fruits, starting with fruit number 138 on the list. I'd started from the bottom of the list and I'm going up. But fruit 138 on this list is the bomb fruit. A fruit which I can imagine would be an arsonist's second favorite of all the devil fruits. Actually, maybe third. The bomb fruit basically allows its user to produce bombs. The issue being they can only produce bombs out of things that come out of your own body. So, like, uh, I don't know. It's a weird thing to say, but the primary example from the series is that the user of this fruit in One Piece primarily uses it to pick his nose and turn his boogers into bombs. All things considered, I can think of about three better ways that you could use this fruit. One, you could store your pee and make it into a bomb. Two, you could store your poop and make it into a bomb. Three, you could store your fingernails and make them into bombs. Actually, no, four. There's four better ways. Because you could use your earwax and turn it into a bomb. Actually, that depending on what your boogers look like as opposed to your earwax, that might be more gross. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not talking about anatomy with you guys. The bomb fruit got a 7 out of 10 in combat, 3 out of 10 in utility, 8 out of 10 in what is this? Potential? Yeah, potential. And a 7 out of 10 in detriments for a 25 out of 40 total score. And yeah, next up, number 137, we got the mark fruit. Now, the mark fruit is a considerably simple ability. Basically, I don't remember which hand it is, but let's pretend it's the right hand. Basically, your right hand touches something, and that something is now the target of the ability. You can then take your left hand, pick up any object you want, throw it, and it will fly in a direct collision course with the thing that you touched with your right hand. Uh, Very simple ability, but it can be effective. The only real issue is you need to make contact with the target, and whatever you throw goes to the target. Regardless of target throwing and target going, this devil fruit got a 9 out of 10 in combat, a 5 out of 10 in utility, a 3 out of 10 in potential, and an 8 out of 10 in detriments. That ends up with a 25 out of 40 total score. And yeah, that's basically it for the mark fruit. Next up, 136. Something that you might not expect to be this low on the list is the magma fruit. Now, the magma fruit is a Logia devil fruit, and it allows you to create, manipulate, and transform your body into magma. You're probably wondering why this devil fruit is so low on the list. Consolation, it did get a 10 out of 10 in combat because of how much raw destructive power you have. You could basically win any fight. But that being said, it got a 5 out of 10 in utility, 6 out of 10 in potential, and a 4 out of 10 in detriments. For one thing, when you can already create, manipulate, and transform yourself into a given thing, there's not much potential to that because there's not much further you can go from there. Uh, Especially considering we've never seen a Zoan Devil Fruit user achieve an awakening, which is something that Zoan fruits have, or Zoans or Paramecias, because we've seen both of those types of fruits do it. It got a 5 in utility because it's one of those Logias where its only real use is destructive. There's no, like, creative potential, really. Like, you can shape it, but it's magma. It's just gonna melt. And then detriments is you're constantly in a state of accidentally destroying anything, especially if you're easily irritable. Uh, that's about it. Now on to number 135, we have the Dalmatian fruit. This is a fruit that I did not know existed back when I made the Instagram series. And honestly, I'm still a bit questionable on its existence slash purpose now. Apparently, it's wielded by a marine admiral, by like a marine vice admiral. I have no idea how it's used. I can only assume based on the name and like what it does. I don't even think we've ever seen it in action in the show. I think we just know that it exists. Simply enough, the Dalmatian fruit allows you to transform into a Dalmatian or Dalmatian human hybrid. Simple, easy to explain Zoan Devil Fruit. This thing got a 5 out of 10 in combat, 6 out of 10 in utility, 4 in potential, and a 10 in detriments. Because it's not really a detriment to just being able to turn into an animal or animal human hybrid. And that makes for our next 25 out of 40 total score. And then we go on to number 134, which is the Dongo fruit. Dongo, I don't know, I'm a white American dude. I don't totally know what it is, but if memory serves correctly, it's like a Japanese rice cake type thing. Or maybe not rice, something. It's like, I don't really know how to explain it. Point is, what this fruit allows you to do is pinch your cheeks, make like a dongo ball. It's just like a little white sphere, and then you can feed it to animals, and they become like domesticated, kinda like it's basically an instantaneous domestication technique for anything animal slash animal adjacent. It definitely works on animals. It somewhat works on smile fruit users, which maybe I should do a ranting, raving, and flaming video on smile fruits just to explain what those are. It doesn't exist yet. It may in the future. Regardless of smile fruits, it is unclear as to whether or not this fruit works on people who have eaten Zoan devil fruits. I would assume it doesn't, unless they're in animal form and continue to be in animal form or animal human hybrid form. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe theorize about that in the comments. This fruit got a 3 out of 10 in combat, a 8 out of 10 in utility, 7 out of 10 in detriments, or no, 7 out of 10 in potential, and an 8 out of 10 in detriments for our first 26 out of 40 total score. Oh yeah, by the way, if you were wondering why the Dalmatian fruit is higher on the list than the magma fruit, it's because I basically organized the list by power, and then I organized it by utility, and then I organized it by total score. So the utility ended up being a higher priority than the power. But whatever. Regardless of that, this video is going on for 10 minutes now. So I am quickly approaching my time limit, and I have a few fruits to go. Fruit number 132 on this list is the Stitch fruit. No, not like Lilo and Stitch. Although, honestly, I kind of wish that there was something like that, because Stitch is adorable, and I would love to be able to transform into him at will. Now, the Stitch fruit, it allows you to stitch anything together. Very little combat, but a lot of utility. Like, it's like sewing needle type stuff. I just did a crocheting motion. I don't. Why do I know the difference between sewing and crocheting? Regardless of my apparent knowledge of crocheting, this fruit got a 4 out of 10 in combat, a 5 out of 10 in utility, a 7 out of 10 in potential, and a 10 out of 10 in detriments, because it basically just gives you something that you are able to do, not something that you need to do, or like something that you can do, but it comes with a downside. That's mainly why the detriment score exists. Anyway, that's another 26 out of 40 total score. On to number 131, the Hornet Fruit. Now, the Hornet Fruit is what it sounds like. It allows you to transform into a Hornet or a Hornet-human hybrid. Why does this exist? I don't know. Would it make you, if you turn into a hybrid form, would it make you a human-sized Hornet or a Hornet-sized human? Actually, the size is a good question to bring up in terms of, like, just if you're turning into a Hornet, do you turn into a human-sized Hornet or just a Hornet-sized Hornet? I don't know how the hybrid stuff works. But regardless of that, this fruit got a 4 out of 10 in combat, 8 out of 10 in utility, 6 out of 10 in detriments, or no, 6 out of 10 in potential, and an 8 out of 10 in detriments for another 26 out of 40 total score. Huh? Wait. That's not supposed to be how that. Okay, there's a mistake on my list, but regardless. Uh, alright. I think I'm gonna end this out with a nice round number. Call it number 130. Number 130 is the cloned fruit. A bit more complex of an ability than just a Zoan. The cloned fruit is a paramecia type devil fruit, and it allows you to slap people in the face and then commit identity fraud. Okay, there's a bit more technical stuff to it. Basically, you slap their face with your right hand, and then you smack your own face with your left hand, and not only are you able to assume their face, you can also change your body to match their body. Basically, it's not clone in the sense of cloning, as in, like, you copy yourself. It's clone in the sense of you clone what someone else is. Basically, you become the clone, which honestly is a bit useless in my personal opinion. But regardless of that, it got a 4 out of 10 in combat, 7 out of 10 in utility, 8 out of 10 in detriments, 8 out of 10 in potential. I don't know why I keep mixing up detriments and potential. It got an 8 out of 10 in potential and a 7 out of 10 in detriments for another 26 out of 40 total score. That is it for the devil fruit portion of this video. I have one little bit. It is called the promotion part of this video. Please like the video. Please subscribe. Please tell your friends that are interested in One Piece about me. I will be getting into some of the more interesting devil fruits later on. For example, the next fruit I'm going to be going over is the butter fruit. I really should not have. I should have thought about that better before I said I had a good example of an interesting fruit. Anyway, regardless of that, if you're seeing this because of what I said in the next video that I'm going to post tomorrow, thank you for actually following the instructions that I left there, and I will see you wonderful people later. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and see you later.